Hi, my name is Julia Chen. I'm Vice President of Partner Transformation in the Global Partner Org. I'm so delighted to be here with you and also delighted to be joined by Tamiya Subbaiah, SVP of CX Solutions Marketing and Acceleration, and Denny Covey, VP of CX Partner Model. So today we're going to be talking to you about three things. One, which is the importance of transformation, what we are doing to enable the transformation, and how you will successfully transform with CX. So I'll kick it off with why we transform. So thank you again for joining us today. I'm thrilled to be able to kick off this session. So I'll reiterate what Chuck and a lot of our leaders have already said, which is that partners are key to Cisco's success, have been and always will be. The term transformation is used widely, so I want to level set for a few minutes on what we mean by transformation for purposes of this conversation. The world is rapidly changing, and the speed of change has never been faster. There are so many technological factors that are changing the way we live, work, learn, and play. There is a massive data explosion with everything connected, sending and collecting data, which we love because it means we need more bandwidth as a result of increased connectivity, processing power, and speed. We've been able to use this processing power to make sense of and democratize the huge quantities of data with machine learning and AI, which is now embedded into everything. And we've enabled the consumer to expect this. Of course, with the emerging tech, we have emerging threats and ever-growing emphasis on cybersecurity, which will be 100 times more complex and more important than it is today. This technology evolution changes what our customers want, and indeed we have a lot of evidence that who we even consider to be our customers has changed. It used to be that our main technology buyer sat in the IT department, but now everybody buys technology. In 2021, the line of business will fund more technology purchases than IT. Line of business spend is growing at least twice the rate of IT spend. And line of business buyers influence 80% of IT purchases and control 60% of the budget. They say it's critical for us to link IT investments to business outcomes. The line of business buyer doesn't care about the discrete components of the IT stack, like a switch or a server. Value creation will start with the customer and helping to deliver business outcome solutions to them. Our customers want no downtime, self-configuring, self-protecting, self-healing IT. And ultimately, our expanded group of buyers want a seamless experience. They want you, our partners, to manage the complexity for them. So we at Cisco continue to develop the foundational technologies that underlie these business outcome solutions. We have always been the suppliers to our valued partners. What we are supplying and what you are selling to customers is getting more sophisticated. Chuck and the ELT have stated these to be our areas of focus. I won't deep dive into each of these because I know you will hear it in other sessions. But suffice it to say, our priorities continue to line up with what our customers care about the most, which is secure, intelligent IT centered on applications supported by an agile hybrid cloud infrastructure. So what is it that this expanded customer set wants? Trends such as ubiquitous connectivity, machine learning and AI, increasingly sophisticated SaaS, and click to buy everything are common in consumer IT. These consumer expectations translate to expectations in the enterprise world. Our customers want instant gratification business outcome solutions, but without the complexity. So how do we achieve these outcomes? It starts with our Cisco CX strategy for partners. At its core, Cisco CX strategy for partners is to help you, your customers, realize the value of their technology solutions quickly and completely, to accelerate their success while driving your profitability and growth. A great customer experience leads to a higher rate of renewal for solutions and services and increases the potential to sell additional value around the customer lifecycle. You, our valued partner, are the heart and soul of Cisco's business. Together, we will continue to perform the actions that drive our business while transforming to accelerate growth. So to talk about how to transform with Cisco CX are Tamiya and Denny. Let me turn it over to Tamiya.
Thank you, Julia, and thank you everybody for having me here. Indeed, the IT landscape is changing and it's evolving fast. Especially with the current pandemic situation, we are seeing a lot of pressure on IT organizations in every single company. And our customers are looking at Cisco to not only help them transform, but they want to be able to do it with speed and scale. And this is where our partners come in. Our partners are critical for us to scale. So what are we doing to enable the transformation and achieve those outcomes for our customers? Let me introduce you to the evolved version of the CX Success portfolio. With this entire portfolio, it is focused approach towards customer experience. It's designed to enable our customers accelerate their business outcomes throughout every step of their lifecycle journey. And as I talk through this, one of the things that you will start to realize is that this portfolio is optimized for you, our partners, and we are continuing to make headway there. And we are going to make a couple of big strides as far as this portfolio goes in terms of optimizing it further for you as we transition to net new product lines. Apart from that, it is also meant to help you resell, build additional value into your solutions, and sell more of your services. With this approach, you can not only grow your entire lifecycle services practice and increase your revenue potential, but you can capture net new opportunities with a predictable path for profitable growth. Increase your overall ROI, increase the customer ROI, increase customer loyalty, and scale outcomes faster. So as I walk through this entire portfolio, there are a couple of things that I want to highlight to begin with our support services. Our support services have evolved. We've transitioned from a place of hardware support, which was extremely reactive, to be to an area where we are not only supporting software but also solutions. And this is where our customers are, and this is where we're meeting them. With a huge library of data that's available in real time, we are able to get behind any of our customer situations that they may be currently facing across hardware, across software, across solution implementation, and be able to react to it with the agility that that the entire industry is striving for. The other piece to it is customers have also been asking for always-on advisory services. And this is where you have a seat at the table with the customer in terms of the transformation that they're driving. And this is where business critical services come in. And business critical services is analytics driven, it's data based. So in other words, we are having real-time conversations with customers on an ongoing basis throughout their entire transformation. I'm really excited about the business critical services, the transition into the new version of BCS, and I'm going to actually talk a little more about it in following slides. When it comes to enablement of customers, each one of their employee resources within their organization, help them scale, help them build the muscle to be able to leverage all the different technology learnings that we've put out there from an enablement perspective. This is where our entire learning at Cisco comes in. And we've actually complemented that with DevNet, which is software and solution focused, to be able to bring that additional set of muscle to our customers and their employees to be able to lift the overall knowledge base for our customers. Assist is where we start to talk about implementation as well as design services. And this is an area where I've heard a lot of feedback from all our different partners in terms of where a lot of you have the capability. And I just want to make one thing very clear. Assist, we play a big part here, primarily when the customer wants us to play a big part, or if it's something around net new technology where we're building the capabilities, where we're building the additional muscle, where we're building the asset libraries. And as we go into the coming months, one of the things that we are doing here is we are building this out in such a way that it becomes a lot more agile for you to be able to leverage all the different learnings that we have learned, all the different learnings that we have, and be able to implement it with our customers. And finally, the operate piece of it. Here, there are two specific things. One is MDR, that's managed detection response. And the other one is UCM, Unified Communications, is where we are starting to make packaged offers much more available to our customers as well as through our partners to be able to scale and not only bring that holistic approach to our customers, but also be able to manage things for them in such a way that they can focus on primary areas of transformation. CX Cloud is a single pane of glass for our customers. It's a digital platform. It is an entire area where they can look at their existing infrastructure, get insights on the existing infrastructure, as well as be able to have a one-stop shop to interact with Cisco as well as your partners. And the CX Cloud is built with an API-first approach in mind. In other words, what we've done is we've enabled the CX Cloud where you can bring in your additional dashboards, plug it into the cloud, so that way our customers continue to leverage additional insights that you've already been successfully delivering to them. And with the launch of the CX Cloud, what we've also done is pull together the CX Success Tracks. And the CX Success Track is built on all the existing capabilities that you see above. So we've essentially taken all our existing capabilities, simplified it from a buying perspective as well as a delivery perspective, added on the CX Success Cloud, and finally brought in the customer success motion, primarily driven through adoption offers like accelerators and ATX. So that way our customers are not going through 5 different product lines to be able to purchase something. It is a simplified way of buying things where you get value-added services on top of it, and it is also partner first. And I'm going to talk a lot more about the CX Success Tracks in subsequent slides. And then the Success Tracks is the evolution of all these different services coming together in a way customers to be able to consume, but you to also start to think about how you can evolve your business to further drive a consolidated across the entire portfolio. And when we talk about Success Tracks, there are 2 additional values. CX Cloud is definitely an added value on Success Track. The other additional piece to this is the customer success motion that we have been driving, building out the accelerators, which are the adoption offers, to be able to bring it into Success Tracks. So Success Tracks, if I think about it, it is all the different packages across our different portfolio coming together in a common place, being easy to purchase for our customers with value-added services on top of it. And the DevNet Marketplace, I mentioned APIs on CX Cloud. This becomes your exchange for all the APIs. It becomes your exchange for all the snippets of code. It becomes your exchange for all the automation that you're driving across the entire ecosystem. And as I talk through this, one of the things that I want to call out is on the BCS side of things. We actually launched Essentials, and Essentials primarily was optimized to de-risk IT to be the always-on service. We are continuing to expand on that. We are launching Advantage as well as Premier, which are the bundled services primarily to be able to not only handhold our customers through transition of transformation, but optimization further on. What's more exciting here is the launch of the add-ons. Add-ons are something net new, and they come in 2 different flavors, and this has been built with partner-first approach. And if you watch the evolution of how we came about the add-ons, we took the old construct of BCS and we said, okay, within the old construct of BCS, what are the critical things that our customers need? Number 1 is specialized teams. Specialized teams with capabilities. You can get a team of 2 people, you can get a team of 5 people with very, very particular capabilities to be able to literally help you not only drive your transformation, but be there with you to drive that transformation. And this is advisory at the next level. A lot of times people come and ask me saying, hey, can you drop a team in here, which can help me through this entire transformation? And this is the specialized team. Experts as a service, this is how do you complement it either with a solution architect, a consulting engineer, a program manager, and it can be a part of a specialized team. You can add on more resources, or you can also have these resources as in boots on ground to be able to help customers depending on their need. And the entire construct of add-ons, if you watch the launch of the add-ons, you will start to realize that it is a partner-first approach for us. The entire add-ons is completely a partner-first approach where we are making sure that we are not only building the playbooks, the capabilities for you to be able to go deliver on all of these, but also be able to seamlessly transition and sell this in a much more packaged way. And of course, I need to mention that this entire BCS is built around core networking, data center, security, and collaboration. And these are the areas that we are starting off with. So whether it's SecOps, whether it's DevOps, whether you're talking to NetOps, this team starts to really handhold certain organizations and being able to truly drive transformation. Business critical services, we have simplified. We've simplified. From Business Critical Services 2.0, where there were over 200 deliverables, we've gone to 3 predefined tiers, plus the add-ons, like I mentioned earlier. We went from over 2,000 SKUs to 2 price points. Simple to sell, simple to be able to explain to a customer what they're getting, very clear set of deliverables based on timelines, very clear set of people who are going to deliver on those outcomes for our customers. And I think the simplification of the overall portfolio, the ease of buying, the enablement that goes with it, the construct of, especially of the add-ons, is where, as you start to dive deeper into this, you will start to realize this is entirely built with partner-first approach in mind. When I think about success tracks, I already mentioned to you, this is basically a combination of our existing portfolio packaged with value-added services primarily around insights and analytics available via the CX Cloud, as well as the customer success motion, which is embedded into this together with adoption offers, which are accelerators and ATX bundles. And as I think about the success tracks, right now we've launched the campus, and very soon we are going to be launching security as well as the data center piece of the success tracks. And each one of these different levels come with different level of services where, once again, it is built in such a way that it enables you to add on your services. Either you can resell this, you can co-deliver on this, or you can completely add on to it, build your additional services onto it. And it helps you not only build upon these offers, but it also brings about a simplified, more agile and innovative, flexible option for you to meet your business requirements. So the tiered portfolio comprises of 4 different levels, and each one of these levels has a focus with expert resources, trusted support, insight analytics, and contextual learning. But from a customer's perspective, it is what they see best fit for their current existing portfolio or current existing install base, as well as the net new install base where they're going to transition into. And like I mentioned earlier, I want to keep it reiterating, even on this, we're building it with a partner-first approach in mind, where you can extend, where you can complement success tracks with training, professional, and managed services. And finally, the customer success motion. This is embedded within the success tracks, and there are adoption offers, which are primarily accelerators and ATX, but I just wanted to bring this home in terms of we have 2 different motions behind this. One is the high-touch model with the CSE, who will work with your CSM to be able to optimize for our customers the right plan at the right time, create the adoption roadmap, make sure that they are truly gathering ROI for whatever they've invested in with us. On the other side, we are also scaling it to get across through all the hundreds and thousands of customers via success programs, which are primarily digitally led via digital journeys. And if you look at Lifecycle Advantage, these digital journeys are available to you today to be able to brand them, to be able to scale them, to be able to add on to it and push it out to your customer. And finally, all of this will be available through your partner console, so that way you can manage things and you can run this customer success motion exactly the way we are running it, so that way our playbooks are the same and we are willing to share any kind of expertise on this. So how does all of this come to life? What I'm going to do is I'm going to transition over to Denny, who is going to talk to us about how does all of this come to life? What does it mean for you? How are you able to take it to market? How are you able to scale on this? So over to you, Denny. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tamiya. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. And what I want to talk about is exactly what Tamiya said. How are we going to make this real? How are we going to accelerate this transformation together with you, our partners? And I do want to emphasize that everything we do is together with our partners. I think you remember us last year saying that we spend thousands and thousands of hours together with all of you in both live and now more so virtual events around the globe, engaging in this strategy development. So we're building this entire strategy with you. And over the past year and 18 months, really, we've changed all of our thinking. We changed our thinking around certification, specializations, the offers that Tamiya just mentioned. We've changed everything with your feedback, and we look forward to continuing that whole partnership with you. The one thing that we're hearing you say now is that you want us to create more opportunities for you to differentiate and help accelerate customer success, because that's the ultimate goal. If our customers are super successful earlier on, we all win. So that's what we're focused on here, obviously. Now, part of my job is to spend a bunch of time with our analysts. And when we talk to our analysts and we talk about what does it take to accelerate customer outcomes, what they really highlight is that both Cisco and actually any vendor and any partner needs to modernize our services. We have to change our approach in order to help accelerate customer success. So no longer can we sell a comprehensive solution to a customer and just focus on selling break-fix services, so SmartNet or PSS or what have you, where we react to customer problems by throwing people at the problem to help address their concerns. What we all are focused on doing now, and this is Cisco, other vendors, and you, our partners, is proactively engaging the customer throughout their entire life cycle, right? Engaging them at every single step of the way so that we can help them take a use case and bring it to life. So once again, they can accelerate that outcome. And when we do that, we can do it in new ways where we can predict where they're going to see problems and have challenges, and proactively engage with that customer together with our partners to resolve those issues. And we have to do this without just leveraging our incredible people. And when I say our people, both Cisco and our partners, we have to leverage new learnings and insight, that incredible digital experience that Tamiya mentioned, the CX Cloud, as well as you, our partners. We have to bring it all together. And actually 18 months ago, this is what you came to me and said, hey, Denny, if we're going to do this customer success journey together, you have to start unpacking new insights and recommendations that we, the partner, can build net new services on top of. You also said that, in our first 10 DNA center deals globally, Cisco learns a ton. Well, how are we going to share those learnings with you and your customers? And we're doing that through things like Ask the Expert webinars and accelerator workshops. And we're sharing our best practices, our lessons learned. We're sharing different templates and tools that can help, but we're leaving for the partner the important services to drive the execution. And that's part of the commitment that we're making to you, our partners. So what's interesting here is as we look and work with the analysts really focus on three key things that only Cisco is doing. Number one, it's about unpacking those insights and recommendations in both BCS and success tracks. So when we're sharing recommendations, we can tell a customer your likelihood to see a crash has increased by 20% since the last time we ran this report. Or perhaps your security posture has gotten worse. And here are some things that you can do. We are sharing those insights and recommendations, but it's you, the partner, that can position and sell the services to help solve those problems for the customer. The lifecycle approach that Tamiya ended on, it's about how do we bring our teams together? How do we share our learnings and allow you to drive the execution at every single step of the lifecycle? And how can we do that with this digital experience, the CX Cloud? So that's what we're focused on driving together with our partners. So I want to unpack this a little bit more and talk about specifically what is involved when we do a deal with a customer. So let's say you're selling a comprehensive solution. At the very least, you're going to sell what's on the bottom of this slide, right? Row one. Obviously, you have to sell SmartNet or PSS to provide that support the customer is looking for. More and more, we're seeing the opportunity to sell solution support. And this is good for both you and the customer, because when you run into problems with your customers around these comprehensive solutions, you're going to get engaged in that higher level TAC resource to help address that comprehensive solution. Now, we also have that awesome opportunity to do what Tamiya said and sell BCS 3.0 essentials on top of every SmartNet, PSS, or solution support opportunity. And that's how you're going to tap into those incredible insights and recommendations. So once again, we'll say, hey, your compliance issues are looking worse. Your risk mitigation is going and trending in the wrong way. Here are some things you need to fix, customer. Once again, we share recommendations, but it's up to the partners to help address those recommendations. And you do that by doing what's on row number 3 there, right? Where it says partner add-on remediation services. Most partners I'm talking to want to sell BCS 3.0 Essentials and layer in some kind of a retainer or a subscription for all of those remediation services. So when we share with you and the customer the insights and the recommendations, you can very quickly turn around and address the problems with the customer without having to go renegotiate a new deal. Now, maybe you're selling success tracks, as Tamiya mentioned. And if you're selling success tracks, that's great. You're not going to also sell SmartNet, and you may not sell BCS Essentials on success tracks because some of those insights and recommendations are already baked into success tracks level 1 and level 2. And that's great, but there's still the opportunity. So even with success tracks, Cisco is not executing on the recommendations. It's the partners that will add those remediation services as a retainer or a subscription with every single success track deal. Now, here's the problem that we have. Even if you sell all of these services to your customer, there is nothing included in SmartNet, PSS, BCS success tracks that helps the customer actually enable and implement the software, turn on the specific features, and drive the vast deployment of a use case, which ultimately gets to an outcome. And that's what we need. So it's really up to our partners to fill all of that white space, right? It's up to you to bundle in and position the appropriate services that will drive the adoption of the use case, which gives the customer the outcomes that they're looking for. Now, what all of you have told us is the same thing I hear from the analysts, is that you cannot sell services the same old way to achieve this. You can't go and negotiate statements of work at every single step of the life cycle. You have to find new ways of bundling up your offers and packaging them differently, just like Cisco has done with BCS Essentials, with success tracks, right? New offers, new packaging. Every vendor, every partner I talk to, they're all doing the same types of things. So let's take a look at what some of the partners are doing. So once again, when you close that deal and you sell that wonderful EA, you can't put this big fat statement of work in there that deploys every single use case of DNA Center. You're just never going to sell that. I spoke to one partner at Cisco Live in Barcelona, and what they said is that with every single EA, they're now positioning and quoting a retainer to do the implementation, and the customer can pick their path. They can choose which direction they go around the racetrack. They thought they were going to start with wireless assurance, but maybe they're going to do some kind of an automation use case. Whatever it is, they can use that retainer to get the customer to the outcome. I said, hey, that's awesome. That's great. How often are the customers actually buying that retainer as part of that EA? And this one partner said, probably 50 to 60% of the time. And that's great. But I asked, well, what do you do the rest of the time? The other 40 or 50% of the customers that are not buying the retainer. And then that's where we struggle because the customer's not getting the appropriate services to achieve the outcome. So I suggested what's listed on number 2 on this slide. There's partners that are selling bundles of fixed price, right size workshops. Very cost effectively. Customer in the EA, include a bundle of 3, 5, or 10 workshops. And those workshops are mapped to each use case and every step of the journey. So the customer can pick and choose. Maybe it is wireless assurance versus automation. They can decide which path and acquire and use the workshops that gets them to the outcome. So this is sometimes a more cost-effective way to build those types of services into these different offers. Okay, next, other partners are selling tiers of service. So we just had a call this morning with a partner. They're taking all of the success tracks, level 1 or level 2, and building on top their tier, their premium offers on top of success tracks. And you can do that by bundling in retainers or subscriptions for remediation or deployment. You can bundle in a set of 5, 10, or 15 workshops. You can include enhanced QBRs. You can build your digital platforms. You can take differentiation from multiple vendors. So take our incredible insights from Success Tracks or BCS, but also take insights from other vendors or your own support organization. You can pull those insights also from the network and correlate all of this wonderful information to help the customers achieve their ultimate goals and see what's really going on in that environment. And once again, partners are doing this all day long, building on top of the offers that we have today. Now, it's one thing to transform your offers and your packaging, but it's also about finding new ways to engage the customers at every single step of the racetrack. And this is going to take new roles. Just like when Tamiya showed the slide, we're hiring customer success execs. You're hiring customer success managers, renewal managers, customer success specialists. How are they going to engage along with your sales teams at every single step of the life cycle? Now, I'm just going to hit a couple things here on this slide, but there's some great things partners are doing around the globe. I met with a partner in the US, and they built out a telemetry services practice, and they're using SmartNet Total Care, that collector. They started pulling the data from that collector and scheduled proactive QBRs. They made sure to get the CIOs into the room, and they just started sharing the wonderful data that comes from the SmartNet Total Care collector. And guess what they found out? Immediately, these CIOs turned around and said, "This is incredible. You're showing me things in my environment that I've never seen before. I want to continue to have these conversations, make sure I prioritize the meetings, and let's make sure that we get the services needed to go plug all the holes that we just solved." So that's where the partners now are selling their retainers or subscriptions to do all the remediation. The other thing I'll just hit on real quickly here is hosting customer success events. Think about it. Say you sold Meraki to all kinds of customers out there. That's wonderful. Invite those customers to a live or virtual event and say, "Thank you very much for being a Meraki customer. We want to share with you some other best practices or use cases about how other customers are using Meraki." And talk to them about security. Talk to them about use cases around SD-WAN. Show them how these different retailers, for instance, are using location within Meraki together with Purple or Local Measure or other third-party applications to totally transform that retail environment. There's so many wonderful stories that you can share with your customers to help them understand how they can better improve and accelerate the ROI that they've got. And obviously that creates opportunities for you to sell additional software, additional seats, or potentially new services. So once again, changing the way that you deliver outcomes requires investment. And it requires you to transform your business just like every vendor and every partner I talk to is doing. And we want to continue to invest in making it easier for you to find all these best practices. And we're sharing a lot of these wonderful new assets out there on Success Hub. We just refreshed it, just like we had done last year at this time. And we're bringing a bunch of new assets and making it much easier to navigate. And we're also going to be out there in many virtual events in these Ask Denny sessions around the globe to bring in more of the experts that can help you understand what's going on. And obviously, we're going to be doing that in partnership with our good friend, Julia. So, Julia, I might turn it over to you to bring us home.
Thank you so much, Denny. And as you heard from Denny and Tamiya, we've had a lot of great innovations in CX. They talked about the offers and the portfolio. They talked about roles. They talked about enablement. They talked about building up capabilities and practices. There's a lot. So as you see on the page, there are many resources for you to go browse through because there was a lot to take in. So please visit our updated Success Hub, as Denny said. We have material up in Sales Connect as well. And if you're interested in the business continuity offers we have around COVID, please check out our link that's on the Cisco homepage as well. So thank you once again for joining this session. We were so glad to have you. Thank you so much for your partnership going forward as well. These that you see here are the other sessions that are happening at Cisco Live. So if you missed a session, it will be available on demand. And if you can join that live, even better. So we look forward to continuing the conversation and the partnership with you and look forward to continued success. Take care.